As a creative being, it can be a struggle sometimes to stay productive, especially when you're not feeling motivated or inspired to get your work done. You find yourself procrastinating and your work starts to build up and it starts to snowball because you're not feeling that creative. Your productivity is low. You might find yourself on YouTube or Insta scrolling through, looking at people who's doing what you want to be doing and wondering, how do they stay so creative? How do they stay so productive? What's the secret to their work rate? So I want to share some tips in this video, what's been working for me and what's helped me to stay productive and have a high work rate, consistent work rate, and just consistently putting out high quality work. I feel like you can implement these things into your workflow, your lifestyle, which is going to help you to stay on top, show up, be the best you, and produce some of your best work. What's going on, YouTube fans? Casey, welcome back to my channel. So I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't uploaded a video for about 6 weeks, maybe longer. And that's because I broke my knee playing football, ruptured my patella tendon. So it kind of made sense to pull back on something, and that was YouTube, because I had a load of mixes to do and custom beats for music artists, and I couldn't do the YouTube videos as well. It felt too heavy. So something had to take a back seat for a bit, and that was YouTube videos. But I'm back now. I've got 4 weeks left of this brace and then start with physio, so I can just get back to normal, start going gym again and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's a little setback, but then you know what they say about setbacks. It's just a setup for a comeback. I love a quote. I love a philosophical quote. Follow me on Insta, you know that I'm always posting up all them type of stuff to stay on top and productive and creative in the right mindset. Before we dive into this video, quickly shout out my 2 new subscribers and the best comment, well, yeah, for this week. There's been loads of comments in the last couple of weeks. So I'm gonna dig out my favorite and yeah, shout out to you. So let's talk about self-awareness. Knowing what works for you, how you tick. Are you a morning person or are you more productive at night? For me, I feel like I make better beats at night when I can just put my headphones on. There's no interruptions from wife or the kids, the family, not trying to get my attention, so I can just focus on making a decent beat. Not saying that I don't make good beats in the daytime as well. It just depends. Having an understanding what works best for you will help you increase your productivity and get more work done. Most of the time when we procrastinate, it's because the work that we've got to do, we're not really feeling it or it's too big. So we kind of just put that off and think, oh, I'll do it later. Some people work better under pressure. Sometimes I feel like I do, like a last minute person. I used to do that with essays and homework and that sort of thing. But you just gotta have an understanding of how you work, what makes you tick. Do you produce your best work when you're under pressure, or do you like to have time to work on your beats, your mixing and your mastering? But going back to procrastination, like I said, if it's too big or you're not feeling it, then before you know it, you've wasted hours just scrolling through Instagram or YouTube and TikTok when you could have been putting work in. So to boost your productivity, self-awareness is key. Goal setting. So I've been setting goals. I've always been a goal setter, I'd say. The last few years of running my business, building my brand and getting myself out there, I've had a diary for every year. And what's helped me to be productive is having a to-do list. It doesn't make no sense to try and remember everything in your head. It's just gonna make you feel bogged down, and then you try to remember everything, and then you might forget something that's important. And then if, say for example, a client asks you to mix and master their work or make a custom beat, and you thought to yourself, yeah, I'll remember to do that, and then they've come a few days later for their beat or their mix and mastering and you forgot. Just write these things down and free some space to be creative. This is definitely gonna help you to be more productive. So what I've been doing is writing a to-do list from the night before. I write down what I've got to do for the next day. So when I get up, or when you get up, you know exactly what you've got to do for the day. And if the list is too long and you can't do everything that's on that list, don't beat yourself up, don't feel bad. Just carry it on for the next day. And this should help you to pick up your work rate and get stuff done. And another thing that I do as well is sales targets. How much mixes do I want to do for the week? How many beats do I want to sell for the week? How many new clients do I want to attract for the week? How much subscribers do I want to gain? Followers on Instagram do I want to gain? So just little things. So once you start writing these things down, you know, like this, that's what you're working toward. Like I said, this isn't for everyone, but if you want to be different to what everyone else is doing, then you're gonna have to do the stuff that they're not willing to do. Set goals. Now this next thing that we'll talk about, a 5-year plan. Like I've asked a few people in the past, have you got a 5-year plan? And they look at me like I'm absolutely bonkers. Like, bruh, I don't even know what I'm gonna do for tomorrow. How do I know where I wanna be in 5 years? But by doing this, you know what you're working towards. You know that you're so focused on where you're going by having a 5-year plan. And then when it happens in 5 years, you'd be like, this is what I was working towards and I've made it happen and it's manifested. So for me, it's a good thing. You don't have to do it, but this is what's working for me. Another thing as well that might sound a little bit weird, but it definitely works. And it ties in with having a 5-year plan or your yearly goals or your weekly goals. If you've got a diary or you've got like a little journal where you can reflect on your year and how you've progressed and how much you've achieved, write down what you feel would make an amazing year for you. So it's like writing to your future self, writing to your present self. So you can just see, come December the 31st, you can read it and be like, wow, like I actually have achieved what I set myself out to do. It's manifesting. It's this, what do they call it? I forget what it's called. All right, there's only 4 months left of the year. Do it anyway, and then see, come December the 31st, what you've achieved. So another thing to help boost your productivity is failure. So if you're trying to build your brand, or you're making a new website, or you're creating beats and you're trying to reach out to artists and it's not working and it's failing, or you feel like it's failing, that's fine. Don't worry about failing, because that's all part of the process. We all fail, but it's what you do when you fail. Do you quit? Do you give up, or do you keep going? But if you quit, how are you ever gonna know whether or not you're gonna make it? So don't quit. Fail fast and keep going. Look at other people who are doing what you're doing. Myself, Superstar O's, Carl Beats, or DJ Pain Ones, the Curtis Kings. Have a look at what they're doing, or anyone who you aspire to be like. Go back on some of their old stuff and see maybe where they made some mistakes, and you can learn from them. Even just people in your life, you can learn from everyone. The learning doesn't stop, so you just gotta keep going. Don't quit, don't give up. Right, so moving on, scheduling. Schedule your day. Or I think it was Jim Rohn who said about scheduling your day. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, check out Jim Rohn. He's one of the people that I listen to, along with others, who just help you to get into the right mindset of achieving and progressing. So you got 24 hours in a day. I know you must have seen quotes about how you spend your 24 hours, because we all get the same 24 hours. But if you break it down, going back to self-awareness and what works for you, you can have 8 hours of work, 8 hours of leisure, 8 hours of sleep. Now, if you don't need 8 hours of sleep, then you can have 10 hours of work. If you don't need 8 hours of leisure, take some of them hours off and put onto work. So you could do like 12, 14-hour days of work. So when you start to break it down like that, it doesn't seem as heavy. It doesn't seem like you're just doing whatever at the time because you feeling a little bit inspired, you're feeling a little bit productive. Write it down in your diary, in your journal. Today, I'm gonna put in 14 hours of work. I'm gonna get 6 hours or 7 hours of sleep, and the rest is that total. And then whatever's left for me to just do whatever I want. I know for some people, they just solely focused on just working and putting all the hours in and just getting a little bit of sleep. If that's how you work and that's what you wanna do, then you do that. Be self-aware and know what works for you. So when you're feeling unmotivated, you're not inspired to get any work done, you gotta think about why you're doing it. What's your why? Are you doing it because someone said to you you're never gonna make it, so you wanna show them and you wanna prove them wrong? Yeah, that's a good reason, but I don't feel that's gonna give you the motivation to get work done when you're super uninspired. There's no motivation in you to get anything done. You'd rather just sit down and chill. Once you have a solid why, this is going to help you to be more productive, because you know if you don't get this done, then you're not going to achieve the goals that you set out to achieve. You're not going to be able to provide for the family in the way that you know that you can and want to, or you're not going to be able to fulfill your life's purpose and make your dreams come true, make it happen. You're not going to be able to live your life on your own terms. So you just find a solid why so you can achieve that. Stunt on your old you, don't stunt on other people. Why would you do that? Most of the time, the people that you're trying to stunt on, they don't care about what you're doing. So save all that energy, get focused onto what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve, and you're going to see your productivity and your work rate grow. And then come December 31st, when you look at your letter to self, you're going to be like, you know what, I've achieved what I set out to achieve, and I know that this works, so I'm going to keep going. So in the next year, I'm going to do even more. Might sound corny. You really have to enjoy the process. You've got to understand that everyone's timelines are different. There's some people who blow up quicker than others, and you're probably thinking, like, why haven't I achieved in that short space of time? They're not you, you're not them. Concentrate and focus on yourself. Be the best at what you do. It's gonna happen, just don't stop. If I told you how long it's took me to get to this point, you probably think, like, bro, why are you still, why didn't you quit ages ago? And believe me, I've wanted to quit. So if there's anything in this video you're unsure of, drop a comment below, or just let me know what you've been doing to help with your productivity. Let's connect on Insta. Check out some of the new stuff that I'll be working on, some of the mix and mastering that I've been doing for the artists, and let's vibe. Make sure you go and check out some of the playlists that will help you to develop yourself as a creative, whether that's YouTube, making beats, mixing and mastering, self-help. If you like this video at all, hit the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well, so you won't miss out on future videos. I appreciate your time.